Hello, dear friends. What a blessing to be with you today. Here we are with another study of the book Green Light by the Spirit under Luiz through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. What a blessing to be here today. And today we'll be talking about charitable work. So, how should we behave when we are blessed and to have the privilege of helping the brothers and sisters in humanity who are in need of help, who can count on us doing charitable work towards them? That's exactly what he's talking about here. And he will talk about first how to approach those who are in need. Quote, approach those who are in need, finding in him or her as much as you can a human and as worthy of attention as your loved ones. Quote unquote for now. How many of us see someone in need and are judgmental or are unable to see them as another child of God? Just as we are. You are a child of God, I am a child of God. We need to look at them, approach them, knowing that they are human, they deserve our attention as much as those that we consider immediate family members. And one thing is true, one day we'll become superior spirits because the laws of progress. And just as Jesus, we will see everyone in the world as family, not just those who share home with us, who share our blood um, ties and DNA, but everyone. And we don't know where we're going to be in the future or we were in the past, so we would love to be looked at as human if we were in need, right? So we do to them what we want them to be done to us. He continued, quote, never try to impose commercial guidelines based on the principles of pure charity. In other words, let's not disguise our professional and commercial ambitions when we go to volunteer. Sometimes people want to go volunteer just so they can write on their resume at work how good of citizens they are. Some people want to cite in their resume they work at the Spirit Center, for example, which is a no-no. Everything we do to help those who are in need in both realms of life, because Spirit Center work is a type of charity like no other in the planet. We're giving consolation to those who are in the spiritual realm, and we look at them in our mediumistic meetings, in our talks, doing fraternal counseling as humans, just like we are. And we never put our professional or commercial interests in the endeavor. He says, help without showing superiority. Some people do help. They're like, oh, here you go, here you go. No, they're just as humans as you are. Today, we're in a position of help, but there will be times on the earth that we are the ones who need help. No superiority. He says, understand that we are all in need of moral and material support before God and before one another. So we are all needy. We are all in need of something, spiritually, materially, psychologically. So we shouldn't look at anybody as better than just because we have a little bit more in terms of material comfort. After all, everything is ephemeral. We never know when we're going to lose it all. He continued, put yourself in the shoes of those who are receiving help. If I were the one on the streets, how would I like to be seen, heard, treated? And that's exactly what our brothers and sisters in the charitable work deserve. May they be the work like we do at this SSR, which is going to an assisted living facility to help, or those who take care of children in orphanages, who volunteer at the Peace Corps, or who will be feeding the homeless on the street. They're all children of God. And he continues, when listening to those who are enduring difficulties, listen patiently without interrupting with foolish questions or without multitasking or doing other things at the same time. Will be a literal translation. So when we are with someone for the long period or short period, the best thing we can do for them, one of the best things, is to listen. Put the phone away, everything. Just be with that person. The 5 minutes that you focus on them could mean so much to save a life, to help their life in this lifetime. In the presence of those who are suffering, avoid making unfair remarks as much as you would avoid saying them of those of whom you love or to those whom you love. So when we leave the service, we don't make comments on how they look, how they smelled, what they did. We just keep it to ourselves because we are understanding that to be begging, to be on the street, to go to a food bank, to ask for help takes a lot because as humans we have our pride. So we don't comment on people's that way. The same way we talked about non comment when we go to visit people in their homes, right? We don't make those comments to one another or to our friends and family. Give comfort to those who are in need without demanding immediate changes. How many of us correctly or mistakenly say, oh, if they would only get a job, or if they only if. It takes time. Each and every one of us is in a different evolutionary level. What it takes me today to change, to improve, is different than what will take you. So when we're helping people, we help them, we give them the resources, and we don't expect them to change overnight. Feeding them one sandwich tonight will not solve the homeless tomorrow. So we need to understand what took that person. That's where they listen patiently, lovingly comes to work here. When we are trying to make sure we have music. I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm trying to make sure we have classical music here going on. So when we are listening to people, understand how they got to where they want to, what they are, what led the situation, the most they want to share, then we can understand what better how to better serve them, what their needs are, and move on. Help the needy to be independent from us. So as much as it's important to give, especially now it's cold in here in Virginia, to give socks, underwear, scarves, hats, so on and so forth, food, warm soup, coffee. It's important to also help them gain the resources would allow them to flourish. Remember, teach to fish as well as give them the fish. So you feed them, you solve the short-term needs, but then we go in and we go one step, helping them to be independent for us. Respect ideas and opinions of those who are helping. They have their life story, they have multiple lifetimes just as you, reincarnations, traumas, successes. They also have opinions, and we would like our ideas and opinions to be respected. Therefore, we respect her as well. Never help others in the condition that they accept your point of view. Again, respect them. There may be a need to put in positions on when we go, how they behave, and model good behavior. but not in the condition that they sign up for, you sign up for. They have their own journey. Those who receive help, we have our own as well. And he says here, once you're done with the visit, respect those who are poor or those who are suffering and during a difficult situation by not making the respectful comments about them when we're all done. Because mostly what Christ wants us to have is coherence. When we read the works of the Christ, we see the life of the Christ, at least what was left in writing on the Gospels plus the Spiritist literature. We see coherence, alignment with God's law and will, and coherence from day to day to day. Jesus was the same, helping, serving, helping, serving, consoling. So we cannot go there and put a pretty face, a sweet face, and then turn around and talk bad about people. We need to be coherent. If we say something is important, we go and make actions to align with that importance. If you think your spiritual center is important, which is charitable work as well, we are all not for profit here, for example, in Richmond, and all the other spiritual centers that I know of, they're serious. Then we make time to be there. We make time to volunteer with the center that in turn will be volunteer and outreach into the community. So we align. We cannot say it's important, but then we have time for everything else but to do the charitable work. And that's what it means to follow Jesus as our Christ, a guide and a model, because he modeled to us how to be consistent in our endeavors. Dear friends, that's it. I hope that you can have a productive way of spending your time serving others. And this is chapter 49. So we have one chapter left, a couple of chapters left before we can start a new series. I'll leave the link below to the playlist of the book Green Light so that you can listen to all of the chapters and get the practical advice from under Luiz on all of the things he taught us. Until next time, it's always a pleasure and an honor to be with you. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.